Hey everyone, welcome back to Jay McLaren's Garage. My name is Josh. We've spoken a lot about healing so far in this channel. My background is in mental health. I'm a mental health professional. And we've talked about a lot of stories that involved a lot of tragedy and triumph, that involved a lot of healing from that tragedy. And I must say that I'm really proud of the comments. A lot of guys expressing to me that a lot of the events that we've covered so far have healed their hearts, especially back at that time. And we gotta give Dale Jr. a lot of props. 2001 was a very heavy year for race fans, especially in NASCAR. Between the passing of Dale Earnhardt and the events that surrounded that, Dale Earnhardt Jr. put a lot on his back that year. He lost his dad, the team owner, and we lost an icon, a legend of the sport. But Dale Jr.'s performance in the 2001 Pepsi 400 really helped heal all of our hearts as NASCAR fans and as motorsports fans. But in September 2001, a lot more healing needed to be done, unfortunately. And none other than Dale Earnhardt Jr. put the entire country on his back that day with his performance in the Cal Ripken 400 at Dover International Speedway. September 23rd, 2001, Dover International Speedway. Just 12 days after the events of September 11th, NASCAR returned to racing, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. delivered a moment that helped heal a nation. Under a bright autumn sky, 140,000 fans packed Dover, each holding an American flag. This race wasn't just about points, it was about unity, memory, and resilience. Baseball icon Cal Ripken Jr. served as a Grand Marshal, and the race was named in his honor. But on this day, the spotlight shifted to the red number 8 Chevrolet and the 26-year-old son of a legend still carrying the weight of the season on his shoulders. But the race's emotional weight intensified after a terrifying crash with Jeremy Mayfield. A tire failure sent him into the wall, and his seatbelt partially tore. The same type of failure that had taken Dale Sr. in February. Mayfield walked away, but the moment shook everyone. Ricky Rudd then took the lead and held it for over 160 laps. After a slow pit stop dropped him to 8th, Dale Jr. began methodically carving his way back, and with 70 laps to go, he was back in 3rd. Then came the chaos. Rudd spun after contact with Rusty Wallace. Dale Jarrett briefly took the lead, but Dale Earnhardt Jr. reclaimed it on lap 362. Another caution set up a tense final restart with 6 to go. Jerry Nadeau, who had charged all the way from 41st, lined up behind Jr. for one last shot. The crowd stood. The white flag was never waved, a symbolic choice, no surrender today. Jr. pulled away with the American flag on his mind and a nation behind him. He held off Nadeau and crossed the line first, winning the first race back after September 11th. But what happened next became one of the most iconic moments in NASCAR history. Earnhardt Jr. slowed his car, turned it around, and took a Polish victory lap with a massive American flag out the driver's side window. The grandstands roared. Fans chanted USA as tears fell. In Victory Lane, Jr. pledged $75,000 to relief efforts and dedicated the win to the victims. For the third time in 2001, he carried the emotional burden of the entire sport and lifted it, gracefully, into the light. This race wasn't just about racing, it was about healing. In a year full of loss and uncertainty, this race reminded us that even when everything feels broken, we can still move forward, lap by lap, moment by moment. Dale Jr. didn't just carry the flag that day, he carried the weight of a nation's grief and turned it into something beautiful. That's what healing looks like. It's not fast, it's not perfect, but it's possible. And if he can find strength to keep driving, then so can we. I'm from New York City, born and raised, from Queens, and I remember this time very vividly, of course. I also remember trying to watch this race on September 23rd. Unfortunately, this race was on NBC, and I remember turning the channel onto NBC to watch it live, and unfortunately the picture was extremely blurry. I believe that the tower for NBC in their feed was on top of the World Trade Center, so we did not have a clear feed, or at least I didn't. Also, as a native New Yorker, I really loved the rear deck lid and how it had the American flag and the I Love New York symbol on it. I thought that was a really beautiful touch, and personally, as a New Yorker, I thought that was really special to see. Now let's take a closer look at the diecast. You see on the nose, very clean on the front, a distinct little red grill there, that's really cool, I've never seen that before. Down the left side, very clean on the left, a little tire residue on the left front, but as we go down the left side, we see one of the most iconic paint schemes in NASCAR history. Now we see a closer look at that rear deck lid with the American flag and I Love New York symbol. Now going down the right side, more of the same as on the left. See the pinstripes going down the right side. You see pretty much the only detail or damage on this car is that tire residue around each of the tires. You see a little bit of rubber buildup around them. One of my favorite things about this paint scheme during this time was that he has the number 8 on both rear headlights. I always found that to be really cool for whatever reason. And I love the script on the Budweiser. In 2000 it was more of like a bold font, but in 2001 they reverted to the script style on the Bud, and I think it looks absolutely fantastic. This car was raced and released in 2001 by Action Racing Collectibles. This is an elite and a standard finish. The production quantity on this car is 2,508, and the DIN number for this car is 2067. I also bought this car on eBay. A little bit longer video this one, but as you can see, there's a lot to talk about, a lot to discuss. And once again, another triumphant performance by Dale Jr. Once again, he really put the entire sport and the entire nation on his back that day, and we really have to give him a lot of props. And we'll see in the next review, he got his comeuppance and started a whole new trend of prowess at the super speedways. I thank you guys as always for your support, the comments, the likes. Please continue to follow, share your comments and your stories, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care of yourselves.